moment. So, very out of form. I'm gonna read like 6 poems to you, if that's cool. Yeah. I'm a member of a collective called What Would an HIV Doula Do? Yeah, doulas in the house. And so we are a collective of artists, activists, historians, medical workers, poets, teachers, you name it, culture workers united in the ongoing response to the ongoing AIDS crisis. And we recently collaborated on a digital zine, which you can find for free, which I encourage you to download at hivdoula.work. And the zine is called We Remind You, HIV in Palestine. And the idea was that we were all trying to really like make concrete the connections for ourselves. Well, I'm not going to explain it too much actually, because then I would just ruin the poems. But I just want to say that the first chunk of stuff I'm going to read from you is my contribution to that zine. So the zine actually takes its name from a poem that I wrote, which goes like this very simply. We remind you that healthcare is a human right. We remind you that divestment from healthcare and investment in genocide are inherently connected. And we remind you that another world is possible. And that last line is a threat. So for my part, I was trying to figure out a way in, right? As I think we all maybe are. I received a sort of invitation from Ted Kerr, who's the one of the founders of the collective and a dear friend. And he asked me to respond to 2 texts that I'm going to share with you first, and then I will share with you my response. The first is text on the back of a jacket, a leather jacket, that American artist and AIDS activist David Wojnarowicz wore to a protest, I believe, in DC, very shortly before his death. And the text on that jacket says simply, "If I die of AIDS, forget burial, just drop my body on the steps of the FDA." The second text that I'm responding to is a poem by the late Dr. Rafat Al-Arir, who tweeted this poem on November 1st of 2023, about a month before he was martyred by the Israeli government. And the poem is called If I Must Die. So I pray that I do his words a little bit of justice. If I must die, you must live. To tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings. Make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze, and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite, you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it be a tale. We should clap for both of them. So, my way in, I was really struck by both of those men's word "if." So I tried to find my way in. This is called Watermelon Seeds. If I die, if I must forget burial, if I must forget my body on the steps, if I must bury a tale, if I must, let it be. If I must, plant a seed. if I must. If he must die on the steps in the tale, or if in the tale he must bury his body, or if in the end the tale were retold, or if in the moment the tale were rewritten. If we with our memories never forget, if we with our bodies start writing the tale, if we with our bodies start planting the seeds. If there was aid in the tale, or if the tale itself was an aid, or if in the telling the tale was undone, if the aid was not needed, if there were no burial to forget, if there was no tale to bury. If I, with my body, if he with his body, or if he with his body, or if all of us with their bodies, or if all of us with all of our bodies, or if all of us with all of each other's bodies. If I, with the tale in my body, must die, if the tale in my body must not forget, if the colors were forbidden to fly, if the seeds, or if the seeds began to sprout, or when the seeds begin to sprout, or since the seeds already bear fruit, and since the roots will never forget, if you, with this tale before you, if you do not forget your body, and if you do not forget my body, or if you do not forget their bodies, if every body in the same place, if every body all at once, if every body all together, if we must, and we must. I wish I spoke Greek. That's a fact about myself. I was raised with two grandmothers who immigrated to Alabama, of all fucking places. And if you've never heard island Greek spoken with an Alabama drawl, it's the most beautiful. I wish I could bottle it. I really do. That's the Greek that I have in my ear. So some of this Greek in this poem might actually not be correct, but it's the Greek that I grew up with, so fuck it. It's correct for me. This is called Footnote to Politics. I wrote this in 2017, and it is unfortunately evergreen, it seems. Footnote to Politics. 1. From the Greek word politika, which is mean affairs of the cities. Polis being the Greek word for city, which is mean all of the people coming together, living in a single place, which is mean the world. Being the single place everybody's been being already together. Cosmos, which has come from the Greek word which is mean everything making sense together, which is mean nothing coming along to make a mess of the whole thing, throw it into chaos. Which has come from the Greek word which is mean gap, abyss, formless void, place before matter. Consider matter with two meanings. One, which is mean all ta pragmata which make up the other stuff, the stuff of stuff. Also matter, which is mean the important things to people. A few important things. Food. Shelter. That thing that lets you walk down a street, any street, pick one, where it doesn't mean that danger is there because you are you, because it heard you were coming. Water, affection, the love of another, someone across the table asking you, "Efayas tipota koma," which is one way to say, remember your last bite is your strength, which is one Greek boy's mother's way of to say, stay full. A new term, spiti, being the Greek word for house, but also household, i.e. not only you, but those attached to you, i.e. those you love, also those you do not know, also those you never will. Politika, made up of όλα τα σπίτια, made up of everybody being in the same being placed together, which is mean you can't ignore it, not if you want to be being in it still. I'm sorry, I too thought that I was going to get up here and read some anal sex poems, but it's just not in the cards for us today. As much as I love anal sex, I love dismantling the patriarchy even more. I really hope that that got recorded. This poem, this is my last poem. This is a little bit of a weird one for me because even though I have literally the mother and child and St. Barbara tattooed on my body, I have a weird relationship with the church. Who doesn't? My best friend, one of my closest friends, she's a queer black woman from Middle Tennessee. Her name's Alex Terrell. She's a fan-fucking-tastic fiction writer. You actually must Google her like yesterday. And she grew up in sort of like non-denominational, like, I don't know, Tennessee church. But like about 5 years ago, of her own volition converted to Catholicism. And that was interesting to me. And we've had a lot of like really deep spiritual talks about that for her. And I find myself texting her very frequently or asking her while on the phone, hey, next time you say your prayers, would you keep so-and-so in mind? And she always says, yes, of course, it's done. And she said to me once, she was like, one day maybe I think you will believe in the power of your own prayers. But until then, feel free to keep asking me. And I was like, all right, bitch. So this is my attempt. Alex, I love you. This is my attempt. This is my attempt at a prayer. It's for those still here and those still not. Blessed is the breeze, and my reflection in the light of the window. Blessed are the sounds of the neighbors busy on the walk outside this morning. Blessed is the coldness in my toes and my thick socks reminding me to feel. Blessed are my locks and the keys that fit them. Blessed are the people sitting in these chairs. We are each other's guests, and bless the hands that cook the food and write it down for later. Blessed is this last light of the day. It is about to leave us, but it will return, and you should be here to see it. Blessed is this Frigidaire and the cold kitchen tiles. Blessed is the simple necessity of a corner store banana and coffee, buttered roll, and clean taps of ice water too. Blessed is that neighbor passing me by on the street. Blessed is everyone I'll never know or never get the chance to meet. Blessed, oh blessed, is my heart for making whatever fucking space it can. Come in, sit down, just look at all this room. Logs on the fire and veggies on the coal, and you should be here to feel it. All of it together. It is quite an extraordinary feat to live an ordinary life. So sexy and scary and angry and full. Blessed is that deep gut laughter filling the rooms to the spit, and blessed, oh blessed are all the songs we sing. Keep me close, sweet body, of my family, my fellows, myself, and let's keep dancing, keep on dancing. If we are too much, we are more than enough for each other. Whenever we need. Blessed, oh blessed are you, my friend, for I am you, and you are me. And blessed, oh blessed are we. Thank you all so much.